eyes of a traveler. Hello world and welcome back. Where am I? Well, I'm heading out of Karachi and to a port town called Gwadar. It's a long journey with the pit stops added in. It's a 750 to 800 kilometer journey there. Oops, I've been stopped by the police. I'll continue with the story in a short while. Let's deal with the police first. The popo, as they would say in America. But I'm going to be respectful because I want to get out of here. Right, so that was a short pit stop that wasn't planned, but a little courtesy, little smile, they put me back on my way. So as I was saying, this is a trip that's basically one where I cover the coastal highway from Karachi to Gwadar with a few pit stops en route, which makes the journey around about just under 800 kilometers. So I'm going to do it in 2 days, and the plan is to do the journey back in the 1 day, so I can meet my host, my elder brother Usman, and join him on a 4x4 desert rally called the Hub Rally 2021. Right, I better let you enjoy the view. Lest I forget, this won't be the whole journey. This is part of the journey, and I'll be sharing with you the pinnacle of this journey, or this part anyway, and that's wild camels. I know that sounds bizarre, but when you're a traveler and a biker, you stop wherever you find interest, and I found these camels extremely interesting. And to be honest, they're not absolutely wild, but you'll see. Keep watching. Oh, last point, please do consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. I promise to respond to all the comments. I really do promise. Hand on heart. The bike I'm riding, I should share with you, is a Suzuki Inazuma 250cc. Now, I've done a review of this and I'll put the details in the description, so if you want to check out the review. It's a fantastic bike. I was quite honest in my review, and the ride that I took on this bike was quite brutal, so I've classed it as a brutal ride and an honest review. Anyway, let's get back on the road. So people understand, a long time ago the coastal highway sat next to the coast, but now it sort of sits more inland. But it is a highway that is adorned by desolate desert everywhere you look, as shown in the drone footage right now. But we didn't stop to show you the desert, we stopped to show you these strong, wonderful animals. And I might add that though these look very docile, they are vicious if they chase you down or don't take a liking to you. I'm not going to tell you how I know, but let's put it this way. I can run fast when a camel's chasing me. Hello friends, I just want to have a closer look. I definitely don't want to hurt you. Can I come closer? Why, thank you. Steady old chap, no need to dash. I'll be on my way. So what are you chaps doing here loitering around? Are you up to no good? I think not. I later found out that not all these were wild camels. In fact, none of them were wild. They live wild, but they are owned by a local person or persons. And you can tell the really wild ones out of them have their front legs tied so that they cannot gallop, tied to each other, which is quite cruel and inhumane. But that's what the locals do if they think a camel can be aggressive. So here's some interesting facts about camels. There are two types of camels. One is called a dromedary camel, which has one hump, and the second is called a Bactrian camel, and that has two humps. Other interesting facts are that a camel can grow up to 7 feet from ground to hump and can weigh up to 1,500 pounds. Now, I don't know how that works out in stones or in kilograms, but that's a hefty weight. That's one thing I do know. They are specially adapted for the desert and have 3 eyelids and 2 rows of eyelashes. When drinking water, they can drink up to 40 gallons, and they can store up to 80 pounds of fat in their hump to keep them going over a long distance. Traveling speed can reach up to 40 miles an hour, and there's just so much more that I can tell you about camels, but my fascination may not be shared, so for now I'll just get back to the video. Up here, resting my bottom, because riding long distances certainly affects your bottom, and I saw some camels. I didn't want to disturb them, so I went away and tried to capture them on drone. And then the person who herds the camels, he came up to me, and he's a very nice gentleman, so I want to introduce him to you. Aapka naam kya hai bhai? Kalibakash. So this is the gentleman, Kalibakash, and he's telling me that I asked him, do you have any children? And he said no. He said, I heard sheep, no sorry, not sheep, shepherd thinking sheep, but he herds camels. तो जो ऊँट हैं आपके हैं या किसी के हैं? किसी के हैं? जी जी. So he herds, I don't know if you herd camels, I'm not sure what the terminology is, please do feel free to correct me, but he herds for somebody. And तनहा आपको कितनी देते हैं वो? हमारे ना? नहीं, तनहा पैसा कितना देते हैं आपको? पैसे वो है कितना? 2,000, 5,000, 200, 500 ये रोज का देता है? Okay, so he said sometimes he gets 200, sometimes he gets 500. So in explaining that 200 would be less than £1 and 500 would be less than £2.50. So this is his earning. I asked him, शादी भाई ने नहीं की ना? क्यों नहीं की? नहीं मिलता वो 50 रुपए 100 रुपए क्या So I asked him, why does he have any children? He said no. So I asked him why he hasn't married, and he said nobody ever offered him a wife, or he couldn't get a wife. And he said basically, my income is so little, how could I afford a wife? And heartstrings, I'm afraid, are being very affected by his story. So बस आपके लिए भाई दुआ करेंगे. मुसाफिर की दुआ, आप भी मुसाफिर, मैं भी मुसाफिर, दोनों एक दूसरे को दुआ देंगे इंशाल्लाह. So I will assist him as best I can. One of the challenges in coming out here is to stop and meet people that are local,
who find life difficult because of their financial burdens or situation. And for people in the West, in fact, people even in this country, Pakistan, who are well-to-do, we often forget that our fortune has come partly through our efforts, but that is again based on the gift of intelligence, which is a gift from God. And we often forget that maybe our fortune partly comes from the luck of being born where we are. And some people aren't as fortunate, so we should never forget them. अच्छा भाई कितने घर जाएंगे रात को या बाहर घर जाएंगे और ऊंट भी साथ ले जाएंगे आप तो कितने हैं आपके पास ये ऊंट डाची कितने हैं टोटल 15 आपके पास हैं मैंने वीडियो ली है तो मुझे 5-10 नजर आ रहे थे लेकिन घूम रहे हैं ना नजर नहीं सब आ रहे so he herds 15 camels, a mixture of male camels and female camels. So a male camel is called unt, and a female camel is called dachi. That's my language. बलोची में भी यही है दाची और जो मर्द है वो उसको ऊंट कहते हैं जी जी so he's just told me in Balochi it's the same dachi for a female and unt for a male. So I can only tell you from what I've seen and observed. I've sat with him now for a good half an hour. The video is very short. He asked me to make a video of him. I normally don't capture people, but he has such a good soul, I feel, that I wanted to take him into the video. So signing off now. तो भाई लोगों को आप अल्लाह हाफिज कहते हैं अल्लाह हाफिज Okay, take care folks. See you soon.
I often call my steed my mechanical brother. If it wasn't for my motorbike, I wouldn't see all this wonderful natural habitat and I wouldn't see these lovely camels. So much kudos to the bike. Most riders believe it's them, but I think a true rider, a true biker knows it's a lot to do with the bike, not the biker. So, this is my friend. I came to a place where there was water, and because water is very, very scarce in this particular desert, this Balochistan landscape, Balochistan being the area, I thought I'd take a recording of the water. Very precious indeed.
Can you see the sea? And this is close up of what I was referring to. So I guess this is the Cappadocia of Balochistan in Pakistan. It's sort of like hills that have eroded through rainfall and created these lovely ripple effects. And you can hear the tranquility of the sea. And let's not forget this beautiful road that we've just come up. The keys in the ignition because I can still see the brake lights on. Time to move on, I think.
Thank you for your patience, thank you for watching, and take care until next time. Ride safe.